Hi everybody, it's Ruthie here, and today we're going to talk about the 7th practice. Thank you for coming along to watch, and today's practice is all about continuity of learning and transitions. And I've got lots of practical ideas with how you can do that in your early learning setting. So we're just going to start. Transitions are defined in the EYLF as a process of moving between home and childhood settings, between a range of different early childhood settings, or from childhood setting to full-time school. Transitions include from the home environment to school, different early learning settings to school, transitions from indoor to outdoor learning, and between home environments of shared parenting situations. Now some practical ideas to help with this. Firstly, open doors to families that come into your early learning setting before the year begins. So anticipate that the children that are coming in will have, apprehension, and provide for the family's needs in this area. By understanding children's backgrounds and experiences before they enter the learning environment, this will really help when they transition into your early learning setting. You can collect data from surveys or questionnaires or interviews and communicate those things with parents prior to them coming in. So one of the things that you can also do is allow for home visits to families in their environment. So often we focus on all the families coming into our environment, but if we make an effort to go into the families' environments, it can actually give us a lot of information about the students and where they're actually coming from and the children's needs as well. The other thing you can do is make sure that your program reflects this diversity and your community. So once you have this information, reflect this information in your classroom. So here's some things that you can do to do that. So one of the things you can do is in your displays, you have the photos of families, have a family tree display, and you can have this home life connection from your early learning setting to their home. And when children walk into an environment where they see things that are familiar from home, it helps to settle them. One of the things that is also a great idea is to do all about me books and use those as a basis for your literacy, but also as a way of connecting with home and your early learning setting. You can also do lots of different varieties of books. So you can do all about me, you could do foods we like, things that we like to do as a family, just to build that connection and familiarity as well. Another thing that you can do, because a lot of transition is dependent on children feeling secure, and that comes from the routines that you're introducing with the children. So one of the things that you can do to welcome and value each person is really think about how your children are signing in. So not only can they learn to recognize their name, but they can learn to recognize one another, and you become a new little family in a sense, your little classroom family or your early learning setting. And children, just by having a great sign-in process, they are aware of who's there, who isn't there, and they begin to look out for their friends as well. So that's very important. One of the things that I've talked about is having a name song, and that welcomes each student. And it's just a great thing to do. Children love it, and you can include that in your sign-in welcome procedure in the morning as well. You could also have a Who Is Here board, so you can have photos of the children, and as they come in they can put their photo up with their name. So just some things to think about with how you can help children to transition into new little routines, and this helps them to feel more secure. Right, successful transition also from a teaching point of view depends on successful handover meetings. So having meetings between the parties, so it might be being aware of the previous year and the workers that they've been involved with and having a chat to them. It's important to have good relationships with where the children are coming from. So handover meetings, you can get an understanding for how the child is from a social point of view, their emotional well-being, their physical development, their academic development, as well as their strengths, and maybe even areas that you can develop on and work on. allowing children to meet coming up teachers, so the years that they are going into. Having transitional sessions is very important. So thinking about how you're going to actually tailor some of these sessions is very important as well. If you're at a school, make it a point of building a relationship with whoever drops off the child. So this could mean getting in contact with the childcare workers, just so you have a relationship and a rapport. Another important thing you can do is build a support network for the child, so that they feel that they have little children that they can talk to, but also older children. And this helps them to feel safe in the environment that they're coming into. Another very important thing is to build a partnership between home and setting. So this could be in particular relation to the continuity of learning. So providing an environment that encourages and fosters learning. Often our families, they don't come to school very often. It might be that the parents might never ever step foot into your classroom, but if you have a program that is continually working for you each week, this helps parents to feel more connected. And this is part of the reason why I designed the 40-week program. It's not a program that, is everything that you're ever going to do with your class, but it provides a program that you can send home little cards. They can practice those, and parents can actually feel like they are part of a community and they know what learning is happening. It also encourages families that are from an ESL background to read quality literature to their children. It encourages families to just practice counting, phonemic awareness skills, because they get a word card. So really this little program is there as something that you can have as a partnership between home and your setting. So in the classroom you can log on, you can watch the videos that you've got weekly in the 40-week program, and you can also give out the cards. And this provides a continuity of learning, because each week there's a great book, there's skills to practice, and it's just something that keeps going, and the children absolutely love it. It's simple, but it's very effective. So that's something that you could think about introducing. Okay, another thing is have the home life of the child represented in your early learning setting with photos, and photos of what they like to do at home. And you can, based on that information, you could set up interest-based tables or current topics that are being talked about at home you can discuss as well in your early learning setting. Also, you can encourage parents to email great things or fun things that they've done, and you can display those photos and just have that home connection as well, which is great. And another thing that you can do is have a parent book that has ongoing reflection. So parents can have the opportunity to jot down different things that their children have been doing, and this can spark a project or an inquiry-based centre for learning within your own setting. So I'm going to show you a quick example. For example, in the little book, one parent might write, "This week Abby has been fascinated by snails and bugs." That information to us is like gold. It immediately gives us something that we can do that Abby is excited about. So we can quickly set up a small learning centre and provide a learning opportunity. Now, Abby will be fascinated with it and love it, but I'm sure other children will be fascinated about what Abby's been learning about as well. So for successful continuation of learning and transitioning, capturing a child's current interests and making the most of them not only provide valuable learning, but as children are valued, they feel socially and emotionally secure. So that connection is really important. Now, another thing that you can do is have an orientation day. So when we have an orientation day, you can see that I've got my keyboard over here. Just put my mouse there. And I'll sit on this couch and we'll sing a song. We'll have our name song, and the new children coming up will bring in an object that begins with the letter of their name. And as they come up to me, they've never met me before, but that connection actually helps them to warm to me and to come up to me. I can introduce them, sing a song, they can meet everybody, and then go and have a sit down. Now, on the couch as well, when I have parents come in, I've got a little bear there, and a little bag. And in that bag, it gives me an opportunity to just go through a few things that parents really need to remember. So in the bag, I've got a lunchbox, and we talk about lunch and healthy snacks and that type of thing, and fine motor skills and how they can help their children. And over there in the corner, I've got a whole welcome bag that I've set up for each parent. But that's something that you can think about when you are having parents coming into your early learning setting, talking to them, using puppets so that the children remember, and using props so the parents remember the visuals as well. So I have a very free and relaxing orientation. I set up different activities, and the parents are able to just mingle with each other, and the children can go to any activities they like, and it's very warm and inviting. We have classical music playing in the background, so it's a calm environment, and I love it when the parents stay because it helps the child to feel secure. So if you haven't introduced an orientation day for the years that are coming up to you, maybe you should consider it. Maybe in your setting you could have a barbecue or some food afterwards, but just something to connect, and something for the children to connect and warm to you as their up and coming carer and teacher. So it's a very valuable thing to do. Now the next thing I'm just going to talk about is gathering data that's going to help with your transitioning and creating a continuity of learning. And it's one of the most important skills that I think I've probably used over the years, but you can do it online, and it's very, very easy to set up. So this is a tool, and it's called SurveyMonkey. So now SurveyMonkey is an online tool that provides you with a membership that you can actually create surveys for up and coming families. Now you can structure your survey, and it's basically a brilliant tool to get information. And I love to send this to parents before they come into my early learning setting, because it gives me real data from the people who know the children the best, and that is the parents and the caregivers. So SurveyMonkey will help you to create your learning profiles using real data. So basically what you can do is, when somebody has filled in your survey, you can print it off, and that can become your learning profile, and that information is invaluable. You can break the survey into sections. So you can, how I've done it is I've got administrative info, who can pick them up, what their address is, who their siblings are, birthdays, that kind of information. If they've got any allergies, medical history, and that type of thing is very important. So then I've also got a section on background and culture, so you know where they're coming from, and this can be reflected in your programming as they walk into your classroom. Another area is learning and needs history. Have the children in your care, coming into your care, have they been to a speech pathologist, occupational therapist? Have they been to a pediatrician? Were they born prematurely? Were they going to a physiotherapist for anything? Have there been ongoing ear issues or nasal issues that are actually going to impede on their learning? Have they had speech sessions? Very important questions. And then at the end, I always love to give parents the opportunity to tell me what they would like their child to achieve with me at school or in their early learning setting, and what they would like their child to improve on at home, because often they're two different places. Students or children can be very different in their early learning setting compared to what they like at home. Sometimes they have real problems with getting their children to bed or sleeping and even eating. And with this important information, you can use this information to help teach a child certain things. For example, a few parents have mentioned to me that their children aren't sleeping well. So I use this as a great opportunity to get my puppet out, and we will have little role plays about sleeping and how we can get to sleep and what we need to do. So it helps me to help the parents as well. And also having a survey, it allows parents to really be open and to be honest, and with that information you can really set up an interview after that time and talk about your information that you've got from the surveys that's been collected. So from SurveyMonkey, it will help to analyze, you can help to analyze data collected from individuals, but also as a whole setting, individual, class or students. So you can see as a whole what needs are coming through, and this is great for future planning. So this information that you get can actually drive your curriculum decisions. You can learn about interests, strengths, weaknesses, specialists children have been to, and a myriad of different things. So hopefully you can use that as a tool in your early learning setting. This week I've got a reflection sheet there that you can fill in, and next week we're going to talk about assessment for learning. Also, just have a look in the members area, and I'll also put this pack up here if you would like it, the orientation day pages there, and I've left one blank there which you can see, and you can actually create your own. So leave your comments and thoughts, and I'll see you in a week's time. Thank you. Bye.